Online education is not just some trend. It is a booming industry that is on the rise, and it's expected to be a $370 billion industry by 2026. But most online course creators are stuck, frustrated, struggling, and broke. Why? As someone who's helped thousands of people create highly successful, scalable, and impactful online education businesses and online programs, this is a really weird thing for me to say, but the cold hard truth is not everybody should create an online course. Period. End of story, especially today. This industry started out as somewhat of a free-for-all, and it got glamorized, and everyone and their dog was encouraged to create an online course for financial freedom. And the reality is, an online course business is an incredible vehicle to achieve your personal goals. Chanel was able to go from burning herself out working in person as a doula to serving women all over the world while taking care of her 3 babies at home with her online course. Chooks was able to retire his wife and pay off his mortgage so that his family has long-term sense of security. And Jeffrey went from not being able to afford avocados at the grocery store to making $1 million in course sales in 18 months. But like I said, not everyone should create an online course. And if you're in it just to make a quick buck, do not create an online course. In this video, I'm going to share the key factors creating a super successful long-term online education business. But before I do, I think it's really important for you to understand what you truly need in order to succeed with an online education business. You can only succeed with an online education business if you truly care about impacting the people you serve above all else. You have a skill set or an expertise that you can teach, and you crave being an entrepreneur, and you want an online business that allows you to stop trading time for money. If you check any or all of the boxes that I just mentioned, I've created a free PDF version of this video for reference, and I want you to comment with successful online course business below, and we will send you the link to grab that free guide. Simply put, an online course business is just a new way to do business that doesn't rely on hours in the day, physically needing to do the work or be present in order to get paid, or income based on the time and effort needed to deliver results. Because a business like that is built to ultimately create a time and income limit, which I have mentioned before, because there's only so many hours in the day that allows you to only serve so many people. And that is a recipe for putting you on a hamster wheel. And that hamster wheel often looks like this. You're doing work for clients, you're accepting any client, you are undervaluing your expertise, and you're constantly under financial pressure to find more clients despite having less room, space, or time to actually serve them. I know this hamster wheel so well because it's what landed me in the hospital at 29 with all the symptoms of a stroke when in actuality was severe burnout. And that is when I decided to completely disrupt and change the way that I do business to create a new way to do business for myself and for the people that I serve. It looks like this. You productize your skill set, expertise, or experience, only work with ideal clients. You charge based on the value of the outcome, not your time or effort. And you create financial stability to have the freedom of choice of who and how many clients you actually want to work with. So you go from hitting that time and income ceiling to smashing the time and income ceiling, allowing you to control your growth and whatever limit you decide to put on it. And not only that, but it allows you to create what we call a legacy business. And it's a business that allows you to create an income and an impact without your constant involvement and long after you're gone. Today, if you truly want to create a successful online course business, it requires 3 key components. A core transformation that you can create, packaging the steps to achieve that transformation into an efficient curriculum, and ideal clients that can implement the curriculum without requiring your time. So I want to get into these 3 components. People pay for transformation, not information. Creating a successful online course business has changed so much over the years, and there's a lot of noise out there on how to best do this. But the most outdated and ineffective way that you can create an online course is to take all of the information you know, put it into a curriculum and slap it into an online course platform and hope that it sells. If you have a skill set or an expertise that you can teach, then you ultimately can transform people. And people are paying for the transformation you can provide. They are not paying for a ton of information that they can find for free on the internet. When creating a successful online course, the very first factor is to get very clear not on the information you will teach, but how you will use that information to take your client from where they are currently to where they want to be, what they want to achieve, or who they want to become. We call this the 0 to hero journey, which is your ideal client's journey to achieving the result that they are seeking, which ultimately leaves them happy, satisfied, and singing your praises as the expert in your space. Which brings me to my next point. People pay for efficiency. What is our most valuable resource? The thing that we cannot make more of, and that is absolutely finite: time. If people invest into an online course and it's full of hours and hours of information that they have to sift through to get any kind of result, what do you think happens? They give up, they get mad, and they tell other people that the course they paid for doesn't work. Creating an efficient curriculum is absolutely vital to creating a successful online course business and getting your clients actual results and creating the impact that you want to make on people. And you really can only do this once you've gone through the process of what we call mastery, method, and mentorship. You need to master the skill set or the experience first in order to have a true signature methodology around it and how you approach it. And finally, from that place, you can actually mentor people to get real results. So when you're very clear on the end goal of the online course that you want to create for your client and the outcome that they are seeking, you simply need to reverse engineer the steps that are going to get them to that end goal as efficiently as possible. And in order to create even more efficiency, the structure of an online course today needs to look very different than it used to. It is not simply handing people over information, and it's not simply handing them over the productized version of your experience and knowledge. You need to have built-in support. So the structure that we teach our clients is they have their curriculum, they have coaching at scale, and they have a community to accelerate results. And finally, people pay for what they know is actually for them. Your course will fail and it will not grow, and you will not be able to create an impact if you don't focus on these two things: specificity in the outcome your client will achieve and specificity in the client you are serving. Just a reminder, I have created a free PDF version of this video. If you want to grab it, just comment below with successful online course business and we'll send you the link. When I talk about specificity of the outcome and specificity of the client, I want to share this example with you to really paint the picture. Let's say that the outcome you want to provide with your online course is helping people live their best life. It sounds great in theory, but this is why it won't work. Living your best life could mean retiring early for someone who has been financially responsible. It could mean getting out of debt for someone who's working on minimum wage. It could mean feeling confident in your body for someone who's been battling insecurity since having a baby. So then let's take it a step further. Let's say I want to create a curriculum for how to live your best life. Where do I start? Well, we start with the end goal. So the end goal is early retirement. The end goal is also getting out of debt. And the end goal is also confidence in your body post-baby. So would the early retirement guy want to invest in a program that's going to show him how to retire early, but also how to get confident in his body? Absolutely not. So how efficient would a curriculum be if it taught both how to retire early and also how to feel confident in your body? Not very efficient, because it creates two very different paths and very different curriculum outlines that create two very different goals. And what do people pay for? They pay for efficiency. So if you have too many outcomes that you're trying to provide with your online course, you're ultimately creating a course that no one is going to finish. And what does that create? Frustration, anger, and a lack of results. Your online program needs to be so specific that when people hear about it, they go, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need. And the specificity of your outcome is in direct correlation to how deeply you can serve your ideal client. Going broad only allows you to impact people at a surface level, and it makes you master of none as opposed to master of one. Going specific allows you to create deep transformation for the people who need you most and to stand out as the go-to authority in your industry. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I want you to repeat after me: broad equals broke, specific equals sales. I want to share a very specific example with you here. So Sarah is a client of mine. Sarah is a relationship expert, but she had positioned herself in a very broad niche. And she wasn't able to attract consistent clients that she enjoyed working with or clients who were willing to invest in getting the right support. She went from the broad category of dating and relationships, which you can see has so much competition just strictly looking at the numbers online, to focusing on anxious attachment. So the end goal and the outcome that she was now creating is a confident, secure woman who knows her worth and is capable of thriving in a loving and secure relationship. Not just finding love or having a good relationship or learning how to date successfully. And she knew exactly where her ideal client was when they needed her most. They were an anxiously attached woman whose relationship or marriage is struggling, and she fears her partner is going to leave her. This took Sarah from struggling for 6 years in her business to actually making $30K in 6 weeks with her online program and overselling her program. Now, the biggest shift that she shared was charging $2,000 for her program. She thought charging $100 to $200 was a good amount to charge. This took Sarah, as she said, from struggling for the past 6 years in her business to making the most she had ever made with $30,000 in just 6 weeks with her new transformative online program. And she completely beat her goal of making $10K in a month. We are entering a new era of sophistication in the online course industry. And if you don't actually want to impact people and serve people, it's just not the place for you to be. And you truly can't build a sustainable, long-term online course business if that is not your end goal. Transformation is the goal and you really want to help people. This is the place for you to do so. And it's an incredible way for you to serve at scale, at global scale, without having to trade your time for money. So if you are dedicated to doing this and you want to really take this seriously, like I said, I've created a PDF version of this video for your reference. Just comment below with successful online course business and we will send you over that guide. Thank you so much for watching. I have a whole playlist on creating a successful online course business. I hope you check that out next and I will see you in the next one. Bye.